The belief system that underlies the entire social media economy is under attack. And because it's true that the assumption is false, it's it's just inevitable what's going to happen. And if you're not paying attention, you better start right now. And it's because the opportunity is too good to pass up. And think about it like this: if the top 1% of the people are going to be popular and take all the money, and 99% are going to try to become popular so they can become like them and get some of that money, how long is that going to last? Well, it's lasted a long time. It started in the 80s. And I look at Trump as the beginning still. And I was just amazed by it. I'm like, oh, Trump started this. And he won tabloids in New York. So he won the popularity contest and he was an outsider and nobody liked him. And they hated his family because of what was going on in New York in the 70s. And they don't like outsiders in Manhattan coming in and taking their money. Um, and then this goes through Paris Hilton, and you go on and on, right? You know the story. If you don't know the story, you need to know the story. You won't know what's going to happen. So look it up. So right now, how to win the social media game is interesting because now you can really win. And the power and perils of social media is just everything has a duality. Everything is for good or for evil, depending on your relationship with it and how you use it. There's nothing in life that doesn't work that way. And the social media technology platforms are the same. And I look at it really simply as this game, the professional social media game, has already been won. And to be a celebrity on social media is usually meant paying people to help you get there, or having a unique, special, gifted talent for personality or copywriting, or you did something real. There's a few of them. Most of them have it. They're just good at copywriting or personality, creating a personality, attractive character. Like a good example would be like Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian, and then get known, get popular, and then create a business from that to make money. And it's kind of hilarious if you think about it. And the reality TV stuff now, I like, wow, people believe this is real. They really do. They believe it's real. And I saw a woman from LinkedIn. She did a post today. She's the new popular one, popular kid. She's the Galinda, the Galinda. If you've seen Wicked, she's Galinda now, floating in a bubble. And everybody's like, oh, oh. And she did a red carpet walk for LinkedIn celeb. I didn't look at what it was because I don't care, but I just thought it was funny. And I thought, wow, that's the end, isn't it? When regular business people think that's a success, that means it's over because it's not going to work. So these things cycle. Now we're in this huge arc of a cycle where what's next is already exploded online. If you go on TikTok right now, you can tune that algorithm and get real high quality information about anything. And you can get through all the influencer crap and the celebrity stuff on LinkedIn, or you can tune your feed to only get the celebrity stuff and the crap and the bad fast fashion products. And the cycles are so fast now. And it's funny because they're in middle school, kids are like, they're seduced for 5 minutes now. And then we see it and we're like, you could buy that. And our daughter bought it. And she's like, it doesn't work. I'm like, that's called marketing. And she's like, well, I wanted it to be okay. You're starting to get there. Now she still wants to go to Brandy Melville. Okay. What are we going to do? We don't want her to go, but she's going to go. So eventually she'll realize the product sucks, terrible crap, fast fashion merchandise. It's going to fall apart immediately. What I want to look like Brandy. Brandy's a guy. He's in his 50s. And I think he's, there's issues with Brandy. It's okay. Right. But on the other hand, There's some incredible people in these well-tuned algorithmic systems. TikTok's probably the best one right now, unfortunately owned by the Chinese government. I've said this before. Um, the professional social media game's over. They've already won. So anybody at the top of the hierarchy either paid an agency to get there, or spent years fighting it up, like Mr. Beast on YouTube, years fighting it up with this guy Keith something, YouTube formula. They invented some new approaches. He still doesn't make any money. He makes money through like product sales and endorsements, and he got to deal with Target. That's it. And I'm like, you should be worth $1 billion, 5 billion, $10 billion if this was real. And you're only worth how much? 10 million, 40 million. You don't even have a real business. And if YouTube turned you off, it'd be over. In the Mr. Beast end cap at Target, he's probably paying for that end cap because retailers charge for placement. You want an end cap at Target, Walmart, any of those places, you pay the retailer. They're in the real estate business. And then they're playing a game with you. It depends how well he's good at negotiating. He may be losing his shirt on his retail strategy, or he's just selling crappy stuff because he's popular. That's not a good business model. It's a terrible business model because it can collapse overnight. It's not solid. Think about this hard. So the leaders lead while followers watch from the cheap seats. You want to be in the cheap seats forever? You don't have to be now. I'll share how to win, thrive, and impact your market from the bottom 99% as you become fully yourself inside your market. The goal is to become fully yourself inside the market. If you do that, you're out of the hierarchy game in the popularity contest bubble. You're out. And I know you're not in middle school, or you wouldn't be listening to this because I'm an old bald guy. So you don't care. So you're not listening if you're in middle school. So middle school kids are learning to find themselves. Some don't. And some are seduced by the popularity. And then now they get into high school where I live and they're like, I don't want that anymore. And then they learn. When I was a kid, I didn't do any of it myself, so I can't understand it. But theoretically, it sort of depends on the neighborhood, I think. So for some kids, it's the prom queen and king and queen, and then they have a big coronation. That's the red carpet in high school. And then those kids end up going nowhere, typically. And it depends on the community. And then the kids who were considered different or weird or unusual, like me, found their own way and were often seen as, what? What's wrong with you? And there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not playing the popularity game because I can't. I wanted to sometimes, but I couldn't. And no one would let me. That's the other part. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I got tough. I got strong. I found my own way over many years and I became successful. And you can too. And the key is not following from the cheap seats. Just watch it, learn it, take what you can do from it, but don't follow them. You are not going to win. You're going to lose because you can't win that game. It's a popularity contest. Nobody ever wins a popularity contest, because at the end, the person with the number one, number two, number three seat on the red carpet feels they want more. It's not enough, or they feel bad about it at the end. That's the feeling after the victory of, is this it? When Michael Jordan won, that's not what he said he felt like. He said the dam burst. He couldn't stop crying. He was so happy because he spent his whole life getting tough so he could win at the game of basketball, as he called it. That's real. He was the most popular person in the world for years. And when I saw him, the company I worked for produced the Gatorade National Sales Convention. We worked with the CMO and we put him on stage and did the whole stage show and the videos and the presentations. And it was pretty cool. The Gatorade people were there and like all all the distribution system, the whole channel was there, thousands of people, and then he walked out on stage, and you could feel it. Like, that guy's the real deal. He did it. Huge deal. Huge. Now, be like Mike never made any sense to me, because why would I want to be like Mike? I want to be like myself. So think about it like that. Where are we going? Is humanity going to evolve, or are we going to stay back there in the 90s? No, it's evolving, and it's going faster now than it's ever has in human history. So what's going on right now? I think more people are like, I don't want to be like Mike. I want to be like myself. I'll be inspired by Mike. I'm not going to learn how to play basketball. What inspires me the most about Mike, I'm from Chicago, is we saw him a lot play live. It's incredible. The whole thing was he played as a team with people he didn't even like a lot of the time. He passed to Scotty. He played with Rodman. Not easy. They worked in a system called the triangle. Huge deal. The system worked. What happened when the system went to LA? It worked again. Think about that. What did Michael do? He went and played baseball. He wasn't good enough. He didn't care. He didn't care. He became a professional. Everybody's criticizing him. I'm like, that's amazing. That's it right there. It's not about the hierarchy and the ranking. It's about you. He knew, I'm going to go play baseball now. I don't care what anybody thinks. Done. This is the simple strategy, and it gets you out of the content creator pitfalls of, this is the danger, audience plus income. The one-person solopreneur writing night terrors and the influencer stage dilemma of popularity does not work for 99% of the people in the market. You are not going to build an audience plus income. It's not going to happen for you. And you are not going to be a one-person solopreneur based on your writing and make a stable long-term income into the 6, 7, 8, 9 figures. It's not going to happen for you unless you are genius level at that. And that was true a few years ago. Now it's worse. It is not going to happen for you. You don't need to do that. There's other ways. And the way is to find your way. The way is to find your way. The influencer stage dilemma of popularity. I was looking at Lewis Howes, and Lewis got popular because of Rory and AJ Vaden, and they partnered, and it was early. Lewis didn't even have a big accomplishment. He was a professional athlete, but not like Jordan. What he figured out was lifestyle entrepreneurship popularity online. And he did a podcast and he interviewed people, and they came on, and he got known because he's an amazing interviewer and he's a decent guy, and he was following his heart. And he had a team because the marketing people are good. Rory and AJ Fade, they're the best marketers in the world with personal branding. It doesn't work anymore unless you have an accomplishment now, because it's a different phase. We're past that. So you can't copy that. It won't work anymore. That's the point. Things evolve. So I'm going to give you just 5 steps here, and it's up. I'm not putting these up on LinkedIn anymore because they locked me out of my account, and I don't trust them. It's too much work to figure out how to use it all. It's just, I've been doing it for years. I've been on LinkedIn since it started. I think, and innovating in it and figuring it out since it started. So I'm not pissed. I'm just like, screw you guys. I'm going to use your stuff. I'll broadcast into it, and I'll comment on people's posts. And I love their news feed feature. And I like Microsoft and LinkedIn a lot. But it's like, you guys got to figure out your service issues and your security problems and your authentication and your verification. And I appreciate the spam. I mean, not the spam. I appreciate spam filtering attempts. And but I got a hacker came in my account, blasted all kinds of crap out about crypto, which I would never. I love crypto. I would never trade it. I want it to be a currency to exchange on the blockchain so we can get off the internet. That's why I like crypto. And then I'm associated with that. And then you slap me on the wrist like I did something wrong. LinkedIn, 3 days. So screw you. I'm using your stuff. I love you. It's the flip side, right? That's how it works. I'm in the middle. I'm not judging it. I'm just figuring out what is my relationship now to social media and LinkedIn. You have to do the same. My relationship is you will not be part of my core product. No way. But we're going to use it to our advantage until it goes away because it's going to at some point. So one, try this. Here's 5 stages. I'll just give you the stages. So find the people inside your market open to your ideas, who share your desire and want to get to know you, what you do, and why you care about the same areas of interest. If you are trying to become popular, if you are social selling, and if you are chasing after business, you can't do that. They won't be able to see you. And if they're doing the same, you won't be able to see them. And this is the problem with LinkedIn and the relationships on LinkedIn because everyone's pitching everybody else. That's why it's not working. And I'll go say it's not working. It's not working. There's too many hidden agendas and people selling. And this is the problem with it. This is why we're not putting it in our core strategy, except to just get seen, post, meet some people, and they show up. And it's like, and in a minute, I know they're trying to pitch me because they want to sell me their stuff because that's why they're here. So there's an alternative. That's what I'm saying. 2, from learning what feels right for you, me first, what feels right for me, Michael Jordan. I'm going to go play baseball now. Everybody's like, what? You can't do that. He says, watch me. From learning what feels right for you and resonates with them. What had happened? Well, the media, they went nuts on him in Chicago. Michael can't do that. We need him. What does Chicago need Michael Jordan for? So we can feel important and popular. Finally. New York, we beat New York. Finally. Thank God. Michael's like, that's not my problem. So his core fans were like, go play baseball. That was like 10 people. Everyone else, no, you have to keep winning for us. He's like, I've already did that. I'm done. I'm going to go do my own thing now. Um, resonates with them. Find your people. They're there. I lost 90% of my mailing list when I started telling the truth about how I felt about things. 90% of the people unsubscribed. 90%. Goodbye. You're coming back now. They're coming back now, which is funny. Create products that engage those who will pay. Some will pay. They want to pay because they have the money and they're just like, I don't want to do all this other stuff. So we created a 90-day for dummies series with 12 rooms, 6 business traction rooms, 6 personal acceleration rooms, 90-day quick start. Just pay. It's only $475 for 90 days. Just pay. It's easy. Now, some people want to make money. So we are offering a way to make money for people who don't have any money. I call it the before crowd. I got Jack Kerouac. I'm a counterculture child. So I got Jack Kerouac right up there on the poem from On the Road. And I like the before crowd and the after crowd. So it's like if I can't figure out a way to build my product for the before crowd, in other words, the people who don't have any money, who haven't figured it out yet, to me, I screwed up. I did it wrong. So we've worked on that too. And then third, open to creating and profiting with you. This is big. If you create an infrastructure where people can pay you, that's what we've done. And where you can let people in, but not, give them everything for free and not funnel them. It's real. It's like, here's a way you can make money, but you can only come for 7 days until you can afford it, or there's some things we can do together. But, look, unless you're like world class, like if you're, then there's things we can do together. Like somebody will want to do a workshop with you maybe, or a group or a program with you, and you're broke or you're in big transition. Now you can make money right away and you don't have to set up your own company, marketing apparatus, products, and you'll be part of the whole crowd. And you don't have to pay for all of that because, we need your talent and you have it and you're there. You're not 2 chapters ahead in the textbook. If you're 2 chapters ahead in the textbook, you pay or we'll help you make money, but we're not making money together because I can't have that level of skill. It's not skill. You're not skilled enough yet. You're still working on it. I'm not going to say it. I wanted to. I'm not going to say. I'm going to mention a name. Popularity king at the top. I wouldn't let him teach anything in my company. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks he does, I think, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. So he's not ready. He'd have to pay. Um, Focus your attention, time, and energy on your product, considering beta pilot or launches of various sorts rather than be concerned about traffic, marketing, and lead generation. This is, I think, the number one confusion. And I don't know when this started, but it's out of control. A traffic acquisition system is not a company. It's not. A funnel is not a company. A lead source on Google is not a company. An offer is not a company. Getting clients is not a company. It's not a company. A company is a product that has business functions that include things like lead generation, marketing, content, to get people to a product experience that delivers. And when the the experience delivers, you can lower your marketing expense or rationalize it or make it more efficient. And you can start to get good at it. And in the old days, there was lots of tools. I sold some of them. And there was media modeling where you could take a media spend of, $100 million and you could model the media spend, get to a minimal viable media investment and cut 40% out of your media spend. That's a pro game. That's the kind of stuff Procter and Gamble, Unilever, people like that do. You're not going to do that. It's stuff Disney does. This is pro stuff. It's a pro game. Marketing's super complicated. So all this stuff sort of mainstreamed out into the solopreneur coaching industry, and they're all trying to figure out how to do it. I'm like, you're never going to be able to do it because you don't want to. That's number one. Second, you're not going to be able to do it because it's super hard and you need a whole team. And you're going to need 20, 30, 40 grand a month to get decent people. Or you could keep trying that. It's up to you. I have to have a solution or I can't speak like this. So I've held back. Now I'm not, because we have a solution. So get good at your company and the marketing will go away at some point. You won't even need it. But you'll need to be visible. There's a lot to this. And we've got a 4 Dummies series and then a 12-month. I love 4 Dummies books. And then we've got a 12-month. Let's do it together. Deep kind of let's do it right, sort of, for people who want to change. Some people don't want to change. That's why we did the 90-day thing. I'm like, you don't have to change. You'll come in, you'll learn some business skills, some personal development skills, and you can get out. But our core is the 12-month thing of come in for real and do it on your own terms. We got lots of pathways in. We're opening Monday. Now, 4, through a simple notice, adjust, calibrate strategy by connecting inside your market, you will make money, find partners, and build your connections as you test out, refine, and launch. The whole project of life is about the iterative thinking method of not getting attached to things as like must be attachments around beliefs, fixed thinking, narrowness, or I've got to have it work or I'm going to die. That's an inner issue. That's going on inside. It's fear of criticism, fear of poverty, fear of death, fear of ill health, fear of getting old. That stuff's driving us as human beings. We don't know it, but it's driving us. And until we start to notice, adjust, and calibrate within that, we're just going to keep running and running and running. And that's the popularity contest cycle. You look up and you're like, I want to be like them. Run, 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 run. And then Glinda floats in a bubble with a beautiful pink dress and can sing like a maniac from the movie Wicked. And everybody wants to be like her. And they go, it's not real. That's the point of that movie, or one of the many points. How do you do this? You connect inside your market. What is your market? The people who care about you and that you care about and the topics you care about. You connect with them. From there, you're going to make money. You'll find partners. and you build your connections, and then you test, refine, and launch. And the level of complexity of this depends on what you're trying to do. For me, it's super complex. It takes years. For you, it may take a week. It depends on where you're at. So we help you get to clarity and figure out where you're at, get into confidence, and get into certainty where there's a feeling of, oh, this is going to work. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then and then you just go do it. And then you adjust. And you need a group. A group is really helpful. So we've constructed it that way too. But it's not a networking community where you go meet a bunch of people who are going to give you leads. It's just like, oh my God, enough. So finally, from creating your tangible product, service offerings, software, group programs, facilitated workshops, or community platforms, and a show, it's easy now to shift time away from the marketing craving stuff of, I got to be popular. I got to get them to like me. I got to whiteboard it out. I got to figure it out. I got to figure out YouTube. I got to figure out LinkedIn. I got to network. It's endless. You don't have to do that like that, because this works for anything. It doesn't matter what the product is. There just needs to be one. The product is not how to, I'm going to say it again. The product is not how to get customers. That's not a product. That's a business function, marketing or sales or lead generation or prospecting. Back in 2019 or 2018, 2017, where I was innovating was I was trying to create something called revenue generation. I wanted to bring all those business functions together into one department, and we did it. And then it was like, wow, I'm going to have corporate clients because I can't figure out how to do it for under 10 grand a month. So we niched and adjusted that. And that business ended up working just fine. But it was a pro game again. I was competing against some people who got up to 5, 10, 15 million doing that. And for me to do that could have happened, but I would have had to change everything. I didn't want to do it like that. But the point is learning. And the revenue generation function is a business function. If you don't have a company with a product, there is no revenue generation function. There is no investment banks or banking industry. It doesn't exist because they need clients. Their clients can't just be each other. It's a bunch of investment banks or marketing companies working this is what's happened. I looked at this guy, Todd Brown, and I'm looking, who are his customers? They're marketers. He's teaching marketers. Who's the clients? Other marketers. There's a moment where that's not going to work. It's just like, it's like a spinning in a circle. And then unless people outside of that pay them, and they're going to stop because it doesn't work because it's too complicated and hard. And I almost bought. It would have been like 25 grand a year, 30 grand a year. It doesn't look that way because it's a funnel. So you get little doses and there's another thing coming from here. And then, I can fly down for a day to Florida and work with them personally for 15,000. It just goes on and on. And I started adding it up with my partner, Dave. This is when I was doing Solopreneur Inc. I'm like, we got to do this Todd Brown thing. We got to do a brand and we got to, And I'm like, we got to do it. We got to do it. And he's like, you know how much it's going to cost? I said, well, it's only $4 grand to start. And he's like, come on. And he says, then we're going to have a run a media buy. Yeah, I said, but we can fund it with our book. He didn't laugh at me. He helped me understand it was stupid for us and wouldn't work. And then I'd be 30, 40 grand in the hole in a year, wondering what the hell happened. Continue down those marketing paths. Todd Brown, Russell Brunson, Alex Hormozi, Laura Costa now, all of them, Justin Welsh. Continue down those marketing paths when it's fun. Master them for sure. Do not hang out with those people unless you can master their niche. Top 1%. If you know you can be a top 1% personal brand person, do it. If you're going to be in the 99%, run. Just learn from them, but run. Don't pay them anything. You don't need to because so much of it's free. And then focus your business direction on a plan that eliminates, it must completely eliminate the need to be visible on social media if you desire, because they could cut you off. I've been canceled. My website's been taken down by GoDaddy. One spam complaint. I got 100 grand a month in retainer income coming in. GoDaddy took down the website so I couldn't function and serve my clients for a week. What am I going to do? Give back all that money? Yeah, I would have had to. We figured it out. Brutal. That was really tough. When YouTube canceled me for a year, it didn't matter. I was disappointed because I was starting to get some traction, and they canceled it for no reason for a year, and popped it back up again. I'm like, all right, fine, assholes. Google, they do. You know how people think and what they care about by what they do, not what they say. That's what Google does. Terrible company. LinkedIn, intent is good, but they shut me out of my account for 3 days last week. And it worked because now I will be able, and you will too if you want, eliminate the need to be visible on social media. You don't need to, but it's fun to do it if you like doing it like I do. And if you add it on top of a business infrastructure that actually works for you, then it's possible and it'll work. So what was this about again? Find your, wait, that was yesterday. Power and perils. How to win the social media game. How do you win the social media game is to play your own game.